Evening, everybody, and welcome back to Tom. We are back here for another video. Thank you, everybody, for the support so far. We are actually up to 134 subscribers, so it is fantastic. Like I say, we're getting close to that 200, so I really appreciate everybody's support. But yeah, we're back again for another video, of course. We're going to be obviously reviewing the Norwich game, and then we're going to touch upon obviously our thoughts about the postponement of the game this weekend, which I think we can all agree is very frustrating to say the least, but we'll get stuck into that very shortly. And then obviously we have to cover the news. When he broke yesterday, I must admit, it filled me with a lot of happiness seeing Jonathan Hogg sign his new contract, so we'll be delving into that as well. And then obviously today as well, Turton has signed a new deal, which is another fantastic boost for the club. But yeah, as always, guys, I have got my regular guest who I love coming on and obviously speaking about. He obviously brings his own opinions and insights into the topics we cover. So I really appreciate him taking his time up again tonight. But yeah, welcome on in, Tom. I hope you're well. But yeah, hello there. Hi.
Hello, mate. How are you? Well, I'm a lot better now. I had my haircut over there, so
yeah, it's always nice to have a nice, fresh haircut. It makes you feel better. Anyway.
No, I'm really well today. I'm doing really good. Hope you're okay.
That's nice too. Yeah, I'm not so bad with you. Yeah, it's been a nice steady day today. So, but yeah, like I said, it is going to be a brilliant show ahead. So guys, if you do want to get involved, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Post your in the chat. Any questions you wish to ask as well, I'm happy to do that as well. Just before we start, please hit the like button if you like what you hear. It does help with the algorithm. And also, you can subscribe to my channel. It's free as well. So please, if you hit the subscribe button, which is just down below, it would mean a lot to me. So yeah, that is it. And as I'm about to start, oh, very jealous. We love a Toblerone. You sidetracked me then. You got me. But yeah, anyway, guys, we're gonna get started. I'm just gonna go into the comments in a minute. This intro, the intro is very good, isn't it? Every time I see the intro, I love it more and more. But hello, Matthew. Welcome on in. I'm straight back to postpone of the game against Coventry. Yeah, me and you both. We'll get into that shortly. Please hit up and like the subscribe. Thank you very much, as always, Matthew. But yeah, thank you for joining us. But we are going to get stuck into the game we had on Tuesday night against Norwich. Now, obviously, looking at the lineups, obviously one change that was enforced, obviously, in the Stoke game, like nothing serious, but couldn't really he couldn't really play. So he sat out this game. So obviously Holmes came in. Now, I'm sorry, but I know that Holmes made a massive impact. By the way, from the bench, he very rarely turns up when he starts a game. So I know he made a big contribution last game, and maybe he wanted to start. But apart from the odd game, maybe he's not turned up when he started. So I still would have implemented him from the bench, and maybe would have put somebody else in there. In all honesty, I mean, what was your thoughts about the lineup, Tom? And kind of, was you happy to see? Obviously, did you think Holmes should have just started, or do you think somebody else should have come in as well? Maybe a youngster like I wouldn't have minded to see someone like Danny Grant maybe coming in, but yeah.
I was a bit annoyed when I saw Holmes started, and I went, "Oh, how many times have I seen him start games and it's been rubbish?" I would have liked to see Road come in 4 instead of Holmes and gone 3-5-2, 2 up top.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I think a good shout that, to be fair. Yeah. But yeah,
unfortunately, that didn't happen. Unfortunately,
it didn't. Obviously, Tino should be back for the next game. It was only just sit out this game. Yeah, it's nothing serious. I think, obviously, let's get into the game. And obviously, going to the game, I did really think that the opening 20-25 minutes were crucial in this one. It was vitally important to concede. Those things didn't work out like that one bit. obviously, let's talk about the first goal we conceded here. Norwich, obviously, fit. I mean, Sorba obviously going down. I think, to be honest with you, I think Sorba went down far too easily, and the fact he was complaining to the referee, by the time he'd done that, he probably could have tracked back and actually helped out his teammates instead of winning. But anyway, obviously, it was, like I say, good and a piece of play by Norwich. But yeah, like I say, should have been tracking back. Brilliant ball from Dowell to their right hand side. Again, we should allow the ball to get crossed in too easily again. Just no pressure on the ball. Poor defending in the middle also, in my opinion. If you look at the highlight, which I've revisited, somehow two players stood in as Sargent heads the ball home to our net. 6 minutes on the clock. Yeah, we concede, which was the worst start. I mean, Tom, talk me through this goal and your views on it. What were you thinking when you saw this going?
I don't think it very well defended. It's like we just pushed off. We weren't putting enough pressure on them. And when you don't put pressure on Norwich and you just step back and just sit back, you're going to be in trouble, because Norwich have got some real good quality in the side, and they've got qualities that they can, the small pockets where your defenders are, they can easily pick other players off. But I just thought we should have been a bit more aggressive.
Yeah, we should in this instance for sure. I mean, what was your thoughts on Sorba? I mean, Sorba really should. I think he went down too easy. I don't think it was a free kick, but the fact he just continued to move, he should really have put more effort into tracking back. Don't you agree? I mean, what was your thoughts on that kind of?
It went to the ground like a sack of puddings.
Yeah. It was very.
He's a footballer. You can't be doing stuff like that. Just falling to the floor and just wanting to get a foul.
Not in that position either, because it was obviously it gave Norwich the impetus to obviously get forward. Obviously, they do play quick anyway, but it was literally nearly in obviously in a position where they could break quite easily. So yeah, it was very poor. But yeah, obviously the second goal coming again. I mean, Nunes. I think Nunes is a great player, but obviously he breaks on the ball. Obviously, using his skill, weaving. Town players couldn't get near. Really couldn't. Dowell obviously plays it onto target. Sargent. Good block by Ruffles, but this was very uncharacteristic by Nichols, by the way. He dashes out of his goal completely. He's caught in no man's land kind of thing. And obviously Sinani's takes it around. He had to come and score against. He didn't say. I knew he was going to score against. I did. Obviously, 16 minutes on the clock. I mean, talk me through this goal. What were your views on it?
Again, to the similar one, not aggressive in defence. And I'm sorry, Josh Ruffles, nowhere near good enough. He's League One at best, is Ruffles. He's nowhere near Championship quality. He could have done better. It just looked like, I don't know, we weren't aggressive enough. We just stood there and just backed off.
Yeah, I mean, what did you think about Nichols? What did you think about Nichols in this instance? So he did. I think he made a mistake.
I was expecting better from him.
Yeah, I think when you set the bar so high, obviously, when he may do something out of character, it does kind of alarm you a bit. But I think it kind of proves that he is human after all. But yeah, I mean, Ruffles, I've got to agree with you. I mean, do you think Ruffles should go out on loan then now? Because I think he's just not. He's struggling, isn't he?
What I think we should do is loan him out, bring a left back in, and get Ben Jackson to be given a chance there as well.
Yeah.
Because Ben Jackson is good enough for me. All the goals and the stuff, he crosses the corners, he does to the B team. He should be given a chance. I don't know why he's not. No idea.
He seems to be reluctant, though, to put Ben Jackson in for some reason. Because we all know as fans, right, that Ruffles is struggling, but he still doesn't have the confidence to put Jackson in for some reason. For what I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it is one of those, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, obviously going to the break 2-0 down, it was okay, I guess, because they were quite they quite easily could have been leading by more going to the break, but I still felt, I kind of really felt if we could regroup and grab an early goal in that second half, it would really put it back on game on kind of situation. Obviously that definitely didn't go to plan again. I mean, no, I'll get your overall summary about the game at the end. I won't go on to that half. So, but going to the second half, then obviously, the second half couldn't have started worse. It wasn't a goal conceded, but it was just as bad as a goal conceded. Obviously, Tom Lee's getting sent off. I mean, I'm sorry, but brilliant ball through by Sinani. Again, always involved in everything that Norwich seemed to do in them, in that opening until he went off it. In fact, he did a very good job on us. I think we got defensively caught here, and Lee's pulling down start. It was a definite red card. He last man and everything. I mean, a guy of this experience, though, he really should have done better in this instance. What's your thoughts on this, Tom? I mean, what was your thoughts on this red card? It was so foolish, but it was. I felt like our line was far too high, don't you? I don't know, unless we usually play like that.
I think it was stupid to do what he did, because anyone who does that, you get a red card. It doesn't matter what player you are. But I did think our high line were too high. Yeah. Now, maybe if our high line weren't high, it may have been a different story, but it's going to be a big Mrs. Lee's for West Brom game, innit, now?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say, actually. I mean, we'll talk about that at the end, actually, because kind of got something on my notes here that says something about it. But yeah, very, very silly, very silly. Yeah, we're going to be obviously without him, So, he made the challenge even bigger. Obviously we were already 2-0 down, getting sent off. It makes it even more difficult. Obviously, from then on, Norwich kept creating chance. Great save by Nichols from that Hugo effort, by the way, a header. Again, poor defending though. It's obvious, but then again, Nichols saved it again with another great strike from obviously Sarah. I've got Sarah, I don't know if that's right, but I think that's how you say it. But two key saves there.
Foreign names, isn't it? It's foreign names. It's tricky to read them out.
It certainly is. I mean, the rare attack we actually had was obviously Sora's got a goal. Again, I mean, a brilliant ball by Radoni, who, by the way, I think Radoni struggled in this match, to be honest with you, to put his stamp on it. I mean, it was a difficult game, to be fair for him, but I still feel like he kept going and kept trying to do things. But anyway, obviously, played it through to Pat Jones, who, by the way, he still had a lot to do in this position. But anyway, he played without fear in this moment, drove at the defenders, cut side, obviously before unleashing that strike, which, by the way, was a fantastic, strike, and obviously he scores his first goal for the. Now, obviously, a special mention to Pat Joddy because he has had his injury problems. We know it's great to see him back. Obviously, hopefully, them injuries are behind him now. But he's took the opportunity after getting fit. I mean, he looked a real talent and a star from our academy. I mean, obviously, 81st minute we scored that. How impressed was you with him, Tom? And talk me through this goal. And I saw it.
I rated Pat Jones a lot. I've followed his career as a youngster, and obviously, he's a good player. But the goal's not easy. Such as a young player that's hardly played, and he's just struck straight on. And it's how confident he is in them 1v1 moments as well. He's really confident in that. He said in his interview after the game, and for me, Pat Jones is better in 1v1s. Sorba isn't good at doing 1v1s. So for me, Pat Jones, quality goal, because it's not easy to cut in on his weaker foot. And the shot with his weaker foot, didn't it? His left.
Yeah.
But brilliant goal. It's the pass from Radoni I liked as well.
Yeah, Radoni, great pass through. Yeah, like I say, he's always looking on in, and he did in that instance. And yeah, great all-round goal. And obviously, this goal from Jones gave us a glimmer of hope, didn't it? Obviously, we did rally after this, and maybe on another day we could have got back in. We could have got another goal to equalise. but it just wasn't to be. I mean, yeah, obviously he did finish 2-1 to Norwich. Now, to summarise, I kind of like to take some key points away from this match, and I will do so with this one. I mean, our slow start really well and truly in this game. If you remember going to this game, there was quite a bit of pressure on Norwich. Obviously, the form that they were showing, obviously, we should have really capitalised on that, and obviously trying to keep them out for as long as possible. Because, if we could have kept them out for a sustained period of time, you'd be able to sense the frustration crowd, and then obviously it'll transfer onto the pitch, and then we're laughing in all effects, because then we can kind of capitalise on that feeling around the players. But obviously it didn't work out like that, and it is one of those. But that's kind of one of my take-homes from the game on Tuesday. Second point, I think defensively we were poor again in this one. I feel like the goals they scored was nothing special, and they could have been avoided. They kept targeting that side that Ruffles was on too, which I feel like he does need to come out of the team again, because he does look to be struggling now. I mean, Tom, you kind of spoke about him. He is struggling. Do you think this is the time to I don't harsh on Ruffles, but he's just struggling, isn't he?
I think he's struggling up to the physicality of it, even though it looks like he's physical himself. But it's a massive jump from where he played, with Oxford. I mean, last season, he did go well, called upon, but he made a point to prove. But now, he is struggling. I do think it's a time, maybe, dropping down to the B team for a few games. It might not be 100% fit. It might be fitness-wise being like this. We don't know. But for me, I don't think he is championship standard at all.
I think he's just lacking the quality. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's experience or whatever, but I just think he's lacking the quality to compete at this level.
Because Norwich targeted that left side all first half. They targeted.
That's what I said. Yeah, they constantly were doing it, and I think we've seen that on numerous occasions at the start. Well, a lot of teams have targeted that side Ruffles on. So, but yeah. Another point I want to make, obviously, I think the speed that they break at, the speed that they break and play between the lines so quick compared to how you go about things. What I'm trying to say is, obviously, the comparison between the two is so big. What are your thoughts on that? Because, their build-up play was a lot quicker, wasn't it? Whereas ours was so slow and the usual kind of thing. I mean, what do you think about that? I mean, do you agree or?
Their build-up play were very quick. I think the reasons I wasn't because there were no Timo. Because in our build-up play, Timo obviously always drops back to get asked for the ball, and he starts the attack off, and it's so much quicker. But other night, I just felt sorry for Radone because I felt sorry for him because when Timo's in the side, he's a lot better player. Because then Radone is not bombing on forward all the time because you've got Tino to do that. But yeah, Norwich looked a lot better than us at getting forward and creating chances.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was certainly on the front time, which obviously they were the home team, so you do expect chances, but I felt we should have done a bit better. I mean, obviously the red card for Leeds, like I said earlier, it made the task an even bigger one from where we were in that position, obviously 2-0 down. Yeah, you should have known better, I'm afraid. I'm sorry, Leeds, but I know it's been great for us, and you've been absolutely, a rock at the back, but, a moment of madness here, I'm afraid. And I believe the red card, doesn't that mean he's out for 3 games, not 1?
Professional fouls, 1 game.
All right. I heard that he was out for 3 games. I might be wrong, but...
I've been told both, but I don't know. I might have to ask the club, tweet them and ask. I'm sure they'd tell us.
I mean, from my understanding, I thought a straight red card was a 3-game ban. I know that 2 yellows is a 1 game, but... No,
yeah.
I think it's
Sorry. Yeah, it's 3 games. Sorry. Got it wrong.
So, I mean, how much of the concerns do you feel like now he's going to be missing for a few games? It's going to be a big loss, isn't he? So, what are you concerned? What are you thinking at the moment about that?
I'm thinking You move Hogg into the centre of the back three where Lee's was, and you're going to have to put Russell or Kamara where Hogg's role was.
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of felt like maybe Nakayama could play in that main centre back role. I've got the quality to do that. I do.
You could put Edmund Green the right side centre back, move Turton into the centre, and bring Boyle into the left side, and have Nakayama as a left wing back. Could do that.
I don't agree. I'm sorry. I think that's going to make it even. I know this.
We'd have no height at the back. It'd be like 5'11" of height.
It's not just that. I'm just not being impressed with Ball so far. And I think, obviously, I don't. I mean, Edmonds Green's been found out as well at times, so I'm not sure. But yeah.
I think Hogg will be brought into the back three. I think that's what I do.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously.
But then you ain't got height in that centre back position in the centre, have you? Because Hogg's not the tallest.
That's the problem, though. Yeah, that's the problem. But I mean, for me, yeah, it's a massive concern not to have Leeds in the line. Obviously, we know how lost Pearson was when we lost, and Leeds will be no different. We'll really miss him in the next few.
I think we're doing a centre back in on loan. I've just got a funny feeling that we might do.
Yeah, I know, but I think the problem is we've already got enough centre backs out of the club, so I don't know if the club will actually go out and get it. I mean, obviously we've lost now, and obviously we lost as well, but I don't know. It'd be interesting to see how we line up though, but it is one of those. Anyway, my next point, I've got loads of points that I want to make. I feel like we gave Norwich far too much respect in this game, I'm afraid. I'm sorry, but especially in the first half, I kind of sense, anyway, I don't know about you, Tom, I sense that we were just set up just to sit and try and get a point out of the game. I mean, how did you see it?
Yeah, we were set up all right. I just thought we could have been a lot better going forward, you know.
Yeah, there were no adventure, though, was there? There were no adventure to try and get forward. They seemed to want to get forward. I don't know.
A shout out to Danny Ward that game. He worked so hard again. I mean, that's thing a lot of fans don't give him credit for. Just because he doesn't score goals, he's off the ball work and pressing. His work rate is brilliant.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's always there, isn't it? Yeah, fantastic. But yeah, good point. Another point I want to make. Yeah, I mean, make no mistake, Norwich are a quality side. You know, they've got quality at the squad. You know, across the pitch as well. Even the bench looks scarily very, very strong as well, which is amazing, isn't it? I do expect to see them up there in the promotion race. I'm honest with you, I think they've got quality up there. But yeah, you're in agreement with me about that. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, another take home is obviously back to the drawing board for us, I'm afraid. I think obviously we have to really learn our lessons from this one, though, because, you know, and try and I mean, any kind of summaries or points you want to make, obviously, kind of take homes you want to kind of mention in this kind of section.
I'd like to shout out the on loan right wing back again. I thought he was brilliant again.
Kessler, absolutely.
I think his defensive work is really good.
Yeah.
And with him, it gives, you know, Turton extra cover. You know, because if you played like, for example, Turton at right wing back and another centre back in that right centre back, Turton's not the quickest to bomb on the players. But I thought Kessler was my man of the match for us. I thought we were really good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, again, another solid showing from him. You know, he's going to be a real joy to watch this season. I sense that. And I think the fact that he can attack very well, but he can also defend very, very well as well. He's just got the overall game. At championship level, he's an easy championship player. Obviously, he's come on loan to a championship side to obviously develop, and then obviously, you know, next season, I think he's going into a Premier League team after Villa will definitely be obviously playing him next season in my if he goes on like he is. But yeah, it is. I mean, Oh yeah, so I think that we'll leave it there. Then obviously Norwich, that game is done and dusted now. We've kind of covered quite a bit in that section. So enough said about that game. Let's put it to bed now. But yeah, I mean, obviously we were meant to be obviously previewing a game this weekend. However, the situation at Coventry, of course, has meant our game has been postponed, which has caused a lot of frustration amongst the town faithful, and me being one of them. Now we're just going to go into the comments a minute before we get going on this one. To win against a good result, even if we lost, going 10 men down, still maintaining his strong. Love Hayden, what a player he's going to be. Yeah, I mean, he makes a good point, doesn't he, there, because obviously we did go down to 10 and we did maintain strong, and we didn't concede anymore, which was good. We scored as well, so yeah, we echo your thoughts about Hayden. Absolutely fantastic. What a player! He's a superstar. He really is. And he's got the world at his feet at the moment. I think he's just going to be a superstar. Definitely going to get some England caps in the future as well.
I think he's a very good player. I do think, next season or in a few seasons, I think he will be the first choice right back. I really do. I think he's quality.
Yeah, he really is. He's great.
Well, the thing with Steven Gerrard, picked his loan from. There was other clubs that wanted to get him in on loan in the Championship and Premier League clubs as well. He said Huddersfield was the right club for him to develop.
It's a big compliment to us if Steven Gerrard said that, by the way. Very, very took on the back when Gerrard, obviously, about Gerrard's thoughts on it. But yeah, fair play. But yeah, thank you, John, for that. Very good points made. And yeah, it wasn't so bad after it. I think I was just more thinking about that goal we conceded was not special, but if we would have, I don't know, maybe I'm being a bit too negative, but I'm just saying how I saw it. That is what it is. Now, obviously, yeah, let's get into this game. Well, this so-called game that was meant to be happening. Now, there's no game for this weekend. I think it's really frustrating, if I'm honest, in more ways than one. I'm going to start with my first point that's making me more frustrated. Is that, the fact of the matter is, right, they knew that the Commonwealth Games were happening. They knew there was going to be a lot of rugby being played on that pitch way before, and I mean way before this happened. And, what did they actually have in place in order to enable the season can continue for Coventry's sake? Without these postponed fixtures, I don't understand. I don't understand it. I mean, anything what to add to that, Tom? I mean, it is stupid, isn't it? Why was nothing put in place to enable these fixtures to go ahead?
I think they knew Coventry what rugby's going to cause to the stadium, and the pitch as well. But for me, they should have moved the game to another stadium like Burton or Ipswich or somewhere like that. So, not somewhere like that, something similar. But it's really annoyed me that there's no game. And I mean, I speak to 2 Coventry fans and they're fuming with the club. I mean, that rugby club Wasps shouldn't play on that pitch because it just wrecks it. And for me, I think the EFL need to do something. The thing is, the EFL are so corrupt, they don't care about other clubs than themselves.
No, they don't.
All they care about is themselves and all the money they make. That's all they care about.
Absolutely. It's an absolute joke, isn't it? I mean, secondly, the point I want to make is when the first match was postponed, by the way, for Coventry's sake, they should have asked the EFL to reverse the fixture then so we could play at home, which would have made perfect sense. But no, they decided to wait until a few days before the fixture and then asked us if we reverse the fixture. And it's like, hang on a minute. You know our football game is run. It can't be just a few days in advance. You've got lots of things to sort out in this. So, I mean, I don't understand why they did that either. Oh, you've crashed. You've crashed, Tom. You may have to rejoin. Oh, you're back. You're back. Sorry.
I'm back.
But yeah, I mean, it's silly, isn't it? Why did they wait until a few days before the game, before they actually asked us to reverse the fixture? There's no there at all. No logic.
I mean, there's no logic in it at all. It's like, it's again the Football League again. You know, they don't care about other clubs. All they care about is making their own money themselves. I mean, I do feel sorry for Coventry City fans. I really do. You know, it's like the Football League could easily help them out. Easy. You know, to get the
Yeah,
pitch in good condition takes days. You know. But yeah, on the plus side this weekend, we can't lose. We can't lose this weekend. That's a positive.
yeah. That's definitely yeah. It is one of those. Maybe we be a bit negative here, but yeah, I get what you're saying. Not doing the best start, has it? Now, obviously, thirdly, I want to mention obviously, the fixture congestion is bad enough as it is with the World Cup. You know, having to deal with this messing around and rearranging this fixture is a complete joke. It really is, and it just doesn't help. So yeah, sorry, I'm ranting, but I'm being honest. And then obviously my point is, if somebody would have took responsibility from Coventry side or the EFL, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. I mean, obviously you've covered it, but yeah, you've got to agree that it could have been handled better. I mean, thoughts on this, and you surely agree with me there about it should have been handled better.
I agree 100%. 100% I agree. You know, it could have been handled better. They could have reversed the fixture, or they could have moved to a different ground. You know, they could have looked at the fixtures to do with Burton and just like, look, yeah, right, you have away that day and Coventry at home. We can't play on our pitch,
Yeah.
so let's play there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did it Birmingham's ground the other season as well?
I don't know, but they did. I know they rearranged one of the games in the cup, didn't they, to Burton Stadium? So.
I don't know. I don't get. This is what I don't get. Why didn't they just reverse it? You know, to our stadium, then we could have played the game. They could have easily have. The FL should have done this. You know, it's hard. It just frustrates me. They're so corrupt at the AFL.
Yeah, it really is a joke, isn't it? And you know, the EFL should have stepped in and done it here, but yeah, it is. It's a joke. I mean, we've said enough about this, to be honest with you. We've aired our thoughts. The game isn't going ahead. That's the reality, and we have got a free weekend, so it is one of those. But yeah, that's enough for that. I think we've said enough. Now, obviously, we have to cover this because obviously news broke yesterday. Jonathan Hogg, an extended contract, and I must admit, you know, when they announced this, it did bring a smile to my face. It really did. What this guy has done for us over the years has been nothing short of incredible. You know, the loyalty is shown to staying at the club for 9 years this time. And he's really cemented this place as a legend at our football club. You know, he epitomises everything what a true terrier is. You know, heart, desire, always puts in a shift. It's the fact of the consistency of his performance week after week. It's so impressive. You know, just build a statue now, please. He deserves it. He deserves one. Of course, he's finally, before I pass off to you, I mean, of course, he's the last remaining player of the 2017 promotion winning squad to the Premier League. Obviously, racking over 300 appearances for us. I mean, Tom, talk me through this. I mean, it's a fantastic season, committed a bit longer with us, isn't it? You know, give me your thoughts on this.
How can you not love this guy? How can you not love Jonathan Hogg? I love him to bits. What else can he prove? You know, he still gets slated, yet they need to realise his age. You know, you're not the quickest when you get to your 30s. You know, but for me, I think this is massive. It just shows I think he's going to retire at this club. You can tell. I mean,
yeah.
I love him as a person because he sounds like a down-to-earth guy. I thought it was good with Hogg. Like, you know, end of the season, everyone went abroad for their holidays. Hogg just went to lakes to do fishing, didn't he?
Yeah. I mean,
honestly, I just love Hogg. You know, I think it is important to us, and He's still playing games at his age, a lot of games, you know. He's the right man for the club. He's a captain, he's Mr. Huddersfield Town. You know, it reminds me of Andy Booth in a way, you know, because he spent a number of years at Town, didn't he?
yeah, definitely.
Hogg is the goat back here. Yeah, you're right. Hogg is the real goat.
Hogg is the goat. He's the
He is
goat.
the goat.
That is it. Amen to that. I mean, is there any moments over the years, Tom, that you kind of feel like stood out for you in terms, in a Town shirt? I mean, any special moments? Any standout moments for Hogg in his career with Town? I know it's hard.
It is hard, but one of my favourite moments, it's not a goal, it's a tackle as such.
Yeah.
It was against Middlesbrough. Jones, I think last season, got the ball and he tried out muscling Hogg in out of nowhere. Hogg just crunched him. Honestly, went straight through him, crunched tackle him. And one of my other favourite moments was in the Premier League against Cardiff when Arthur tried to square up to Hogg.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean,
he's my kind of player. He's like one of them old-fashioned midfielders that's not scared to make a tackle because he does get butt nearly every game. Does Hogg?
He does. He's not scared to get a tackle. And yeah, I mean, stand-up form. I just can't. I'm willing to pick any because he's got such a. He's been so consistent about it, and he's just. I think the moment he walked through the door, he's just been a joy to watch. I mean, I saw a picture of him right at the very start of his Town career. I thought, wow, he does look very young there, but yeah, I mean,
it's crazy, isn't it? How long he's actually been here from a young player to where he is now. I just can't believe he's actually been here this long.
He's such a character. He's great. Really. I mean, I just want to kind of see his quote that he put out after they signed the new deal. Obviously, he put, "I'm buzzing about it. It's something that you don't see often these days. It's great for me to say that I've been at the club for 10 years. Huddersfield Town is what I'm all about." And I thought, yeah, that quote, that kind of quote there epitomises what he's about, how much he loves the club as well. I'd love to see him retire at Town. And I'd love to see him stay at Town for coaching role as well in the future as well.
With his contract extension, he had 1 year left on it before the season started, and he's added another. So he's got 3 years left at this club. 3.
I believe that it's an extension to 1 year. So I think his contract was running out next year, but they've extended by another year. So he's got 2 years left.
He's 33 now, isn't he?
Yeah, so it takes him up to
5 years old. That's something. I think he'll retire at the end of his contract.
Do you think? Yeah, do you think he's only got 2 years left in him then now?
I hate to say it, as much as I love him, I do think he's only got 2 years left in him. I mean, I've seen in games that he does slow down, tend to, but he's a quality player. He's massive for the dressing room as well. Huge.
He is. He won't take any.
When they go to warm out, he waits for all the players to gather. Then they go out together. I like that about Hogg. And Hogg always says when they go to warm up, I see him on video, "Come on, boys, get your head together," and just runs out.
He's such a leader in that pitch. Yeah. He's such a vocal.
He doesn't take no BS from anyone on the pitch.
Absolutely. I mean, Matthew's just on some pizza. He makes me hungry. On Papa John's, you enjoy. And he remains a true Terry. He does. He always will be a Terry, and we know this. He's an absolute legend, icon, whatever you want to call him. He's incredible.
He's the real goat. He's Jonathan Hogg.
He's the real goat. Yeah, it'll be 11 years that he'll be with us when his contract runs out in 2 years' time. So yeah, good point. Legend Hogg, absolutely greatest of all time player. Matthew loving Hogg, yeah. I mean, it is. It's just fantastic. Yeah.
I mean, he's starting to score a few goals now as well.
He's not even in the team to do that, but he's actually scoring quite a few as well.
I mean, his goal against Blackpool last season, what a volley!
Yeah, that was good. That was a special goal. Yeah, I mean,
when I saw it, I was like, this can't be Hogg. He doesn't score them type of goals, does he?
No, it doesn't. But when they do come along, it's a real special moment. So yeah, it's just fantastic. It's professional. We love you, Hogg. I know you're probably not watching, but we love you so much. Keep doing what you're doing, and yeah, I'm getting.
We need a statue for him now. Come on,
do.
Dean, get your money out, get that statue built.
We need a statue at the front of that stadium. It has to happen. Just come on, make it happen. But yeah, fantastic news coming out of the club yesterday. Now, another bit of fantastic news, obviously, is another contract extension. Now, obviously, this is a more long-term contract, and it is for Oliver Turton, who, admittedly, started off slowly when we first saw him, but he grew into the team when he got a bit of consistency as well, and he's become a really good player. He has. He's really settled in. He looks a real, really looks a good player in our team now, and he's developed. I think with Turton, I think he just needed a bit of confidence. I think maybe he had a few doubts, maybe at this level, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it was just a bit. Sometimes you do get doubts. You haven't played at that level before. Obviously, having that consistency as well on the side last season helped him. He's got real quality, though. I really do like him. He's not the most forward-thinking player sometimes, but you can see that that's not his game, is he? He's got better at it slightly, but he doesn't feel comfortable doing it. You can see, but yeah, fantastic news to see him sign with the deal. Tom, what are your thoughts on this? I mean, what are you thinking about this one?
I think it's important, that it's signed. Funny you should say that. Other day, I thought sure Turton should sign a contract. I mean, the thing is, he's very versatile. He can play in a back three centre back. He can play right back, right wing back. He can play in centre mid as well. He has done it in the past. But for me, it's massive, because our fullbacks, if he didn't sign a deal and he went, it's like, you're gonna have to search a good replacement for him. But I'm actually buzzing that the Ginger Cafe was signed a new deal.
The Ginger Cafe, absolutely, yeah, I love it. Obviously, guys, he has signed till 2025, but there is an option for an additional year as well, and that's obviously through to 2026. Well, so yeah, it is obviously. He's become a real fan favourite, hasn't he? As well, obviously.
Yeah.
He has his displays from obviously both right back and the right side of the back three. I think he's one of those players, though, by the way, that often gets singled out for praise. Don't you agree on that one? He does, doesn't he? He goes a bit unnoticed at times. Yeah.
I mean, because his role is not to bomb on forward all the time. His role is to defend. His defensive work and his work to close the ball down and go right tight to players and try to get the ball back and put them off balance. He's really good at it. When we bought him, I said to myself, I've always rated Turton as a player, but when we bought him, I went, it's going to take a few games for him to get used to the system and the physicality. Yeah, we have games where he doesn't play well, but it just shows that he's got better.
He has. He's developed, and it's great for him to see a deal. And I'm nice and I'm very happy about it. So, yeah, again, another one, a well-earned, deserved contract, Turton. We love you as well, of course. You always been 100% all the time. Always give your best, and yeah, we appreciate you. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing how he develops throughout the season, and obviously going into next season. But yeah, go back to the comics. Are you done your bit of research? Yeah, I mean, yeah, take him over to a decade of playing. Obviously, it'll obviously enter the list of top 9 deals makers. Yeah, so. In the history of the club, you just read that. Unbelievable turn, just signed for a year. Who do you think next player gets a contract extension? I mean, at the moment, the problem is I get kind of confused who's got what contracts. There's so many players.
I think Danny Ward next. I think Danny Ward will sign a new deal next.
I mean, I don't even know when his contract runs out, though. Is it next
year? He's got 2 years left. He's got 2 years left.
I mean, it's all the obvious players we want to keep on, don't we? Obviously, the key players.
No, I think at the end of this season he's out of contract.
Oh.
So,
I don't know, but yeah, obviously, if that's the case, Wardy definitely. Rhodes. I think Rhodes will still have a year left in his deal. I don't think that would be a problem. But yeah, I mean, anybody that's performing, we're happy to see an extension. But we'll have to see. But yeah, I think that is it. Unless you've got anything else. Oh, have you got any transfer news for us, by the way, Tom? Because
yeah, we're in for a striker. Again, my man, the best doctor knows again. Brought the news yesterday. I just can't keep it face straight when I say the name. What a guy. Brilliant guy. It says here, Huddersfield are written for Lewis Morgan from New York Red Bulls. He's a winger. He scored 11 goals and 3 assists last season for him.
He's a winger. Do we need
a winger that can play striker as well?
Oh, right. Okay, right. Yeah, you're right.
And also Kyle Hudlin's been recalled, hasn't he? Because he's working on an injury, apparently.
I know you said that, but the club haven't actually announced anything at all about that, so I don't know.
Well, Dr. Nose broke it again.
I know, but I haven't seen anything from the club about it, so I'm not sure about it. I mean, obviously, we did make it onto Dr. Nose's
yeah, Dr. Nose, Dr. Nose, Dr. Nose. Nah.
I was very surprised when he clicked that actually and actually put it onto his thing. I was like, wow, he actually made it onto Dr. Nose's page. Amazing
stuff. I've actually been on a social media being clipped.
Yeah. But yeah, he's one of those. But yeah, Dr. Nose, we appreciate you. We love you.
We love you, Dr. Nose. You're the best.
You're the best. But yeah, always keeping us up to date with information and always very reliable as well. Very, very, very good source. For sure. But anyway, guys, that is it. That is the end of the show. We've covered a lot of things, obviously, tonight. Like I say, thank you, everybody, for coming on. Thank you, Tom, as always, for taking the time this evening to
even when I did get the Toblerone out early, I've not hit it all yet.
Yeah, that did make me chuckle when you decided to get that out. It really did nice chat. But yeah, thanks as all.
No worries, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate coming on.
No problem. So yeah, guys, if you do want to, you can like the video. Please hit the like button. You just the algorithm. And also you can subscribe to the channel. It is free. It's free. It doesn't cost anything, and it will help me get on the road up to 200 subscribers. We are at 134 now, so we are getting there slowly but surely. I've actually increased by 6 over the last few days, which is great news. So yeah, guys, you can go and obviously help me out. I really appreciate that. Also, you can find me on my social media page on Twitter and Instagram, HDFTV8. Yeah, like I can keep up to date with everything I post, and I really appreciate if you can go and follow on them ones as well. 136 now. Fantastic news. We've increased by 2 whilst we were going live. So yeah, even better. Thank you for the correction, Matthew. I actually checked earlier, but obviously it increased since I went live. So yeah, thank you everybody for that. Yeah, I'm surprised as well. But yeah, anyway. So yeah, enjoy the weekend, everybody. It's not really it's a football town-free weekend. Let's put it like that. Yeah, we have not got a game, and we haven't got a game for another. It's going to be a long week until we play West Brom.
Well, it's not going to be a stressful weekend, is it? Stress-free weekend.
We're not gonna build our hopes and then it come crashing down. I suppose maybe that's one. But yeah, maybe it is nice to have a weekend off, but it won't help us with the like I said, we've already covered it anyway. It's a bit inconvenient. But yeah, like I said, enjoy the weekend, stay safe, take care, and I'll see you at the next one. Next week we'll be doing a review. We'll be doing a preview, to the West Brom game back at our stadium, the Johnson, a week tomorrow. So yeah, guys, take care, all the best, and I'll see you on the next one. Good night.